Bill Tire presents Hoop It Up on WSBT-22 with Pete Byrne and Carl Deffenbaugh.
Good evening and welcome to the final Hoop It Up of the regular season. Pete Byrne along with Carl Deffenbaugh. You know, it's always nice when the final game of the year determines a conference champion. Doesn't often happen that way for us, but tonight it will, as South Bend, Washington, undefeated in first, takes on second place Marion.
The Panthers have just rolled through the NIC, trying to put the finishing touches on that undefeated run, 11-0 in the NIC so far. But the Knights only a game back, and they had their sights set on a piece of that crown. To the west side we go. Marion, of course, the defending NIC champs. Washington hasn't won the conference since 2012. Panthers up double digits in the second quarter, but Jake Whitfield gets out in transition off the miss, and Marion is down 29-20. But check this out. Bryant Givens just dropping dimes. A no-look pass to Kalen Andrews. He led Washington with 20 points, and they were up 12 at halftime. Marion would rally in the third quarter, though. Whitfield gets into the paint and hesitates, scores. All of a sudden, it's a 4-point game, 46-42. But the Panthers had an answer for everything tonight. Anthony Brazier fights through two defenders, and how does that fall? Brazier had 19 points tonight, and off a Knight's miss, this is the exclamation point. Givens with a perfect ending to the perfect season. Washington wins 69-50. The Panthers run the table in the NIC.
It's indescribable, honestly. It's honestly an uncomparable feeling. I can't think of anything that, relates to this. I can't even describe it. It's wonderful.
It's pretty special to go undefeated in this big conference that we're in. A lot of great teams up there on the wall, and we're just fortunate enough to go through them. So I'm really proud of the way the kids battled. Really exciting for the kids.
Not only conference champs, but an undefeated season. And, of course, this is the new look NIC. They had to make it through 12 teams as opposed to 8 this year.
First team in history to go 12-0 in the NIC. Right. So congratulations to the Panthers. They and Marion now turn their attention to the sectionals. And, of course, that's really going to be the big focus for every team after tonight, maybe even including tonight.
And Washington spoke to that as well. The great regular season, now can we turn it into titles in the postseason?
And how do you do that? You hope to take momentum into the next round. That's, of course, what was happening tonight over at the Cave as well. I should mention earlier today, Mishawaka's Jordan Arch signed to play his college basketball at Bethel, so we'll enjoy watching him for a few more years. Cave been hosting St. Joe tonight, and some nice passing inside to Mark Madden early on for the basket and the foul. Boy, this was a wild game. Mishawaka answers from the outside. Sam Eggleston dialing one up from long range. Then later, it's Arch from behind the arc, like he's done so many times in that gym. Back and forth, I mentioned, all night long. Dom Farrell going to pick off a pass for St. Joe here. Take it in for a really nice layup. St. Joe would win a marathon game, 62-58, that went to triple overtime. So the Tribe stays hot.
Triple, wow. Out west, getting our groove on a bit with Adams and New Prairie. The gym smelled like waffles tonight and syrup. I don't really know what was going on. No complaints, though. First quarter, cross court to Eagles sharpshooter Walter Ellis.
Better than the normal smell,
exactly.
Right?
Adams quickly with a 7-point lead. But the Cougars' Cody Webb goes to work, able to beat his man, and the help defender was too late. New Prairie on the comeback trail in this one. Webb tosses over to Justin Baltas, a catch and shoot from the corner. This was a great game in New Carlisle. The host Cougars win 69-63 in overtime.
All right, South Bend Riley hosting John Glenn down on the south side tonight. The Falcons were trailing by 6 points at halftime, but they start the third quarter fast. Alex Runyon maybe gets away with the travel there, but he keeps the possession and scores. But on the other end, Riley was paced by their two scoring machines. First, we check out Reantre Lawrence. Shot fake, drives baseline, and hits the reverse in traffic. Lawrence had 14, but 3 other Wildcats would score in double figures tonight, too, including Demezi Anderson. Hits the 3 with a man in his face. Riley wins at 55-47. They will take on LaPorte Tuesday in the sectional. Glenn will play Marion.
A non-conference matchup for Clay tonight. They were hosting Valpo in South Bend. This is a good Vikings team. Played well all year, and they showed why. Connor Tenhouse scores in the paint, and the Vikings were leading early, much to the approval of that lady, getting her groove on as well. Back the other way, Colonial's DeAndre Hill, a wide open for the baseline jumper. This kid, not as impressed. Still working on his
Give him
dance
a few
moves.
years.
Exactly. Then Jimmy Bean, a little shake and bake. Did have the foot on the line, so it's a long 2. How about this? More overtime tonight. Valpo wins 86-83 in double overtime. Clay.
Three
overtimes,
so
including
We're
extra
not
periods.
done. Over at the Palace tonight, Penn getting a tune-up for the sectional against number 2 Merrillville, and the Kingsmen digging themselves out of an early hole. Tyler Seeger drives down the lane and scores. Then a few minutes later, it's Seeger again. kicking it out to the corner where Matt Truella was waiting. He knocks down the three, a little nod to the student body. 9-2 run puts the Kingsmen out in front for Maryville. Remember, number 2 in the state, but they were tough on both ends. DJ Wilkins picks off the pass, takes it in for the hoop. Maryville gets the win 60-47. Penn takes on Northridge in the sectional Tuesday.
How about this for a sectional tune-up? Number 6 Warsaw visiting number 9 Fort Wayne Carroll. The Tigers coming off their first loss of the season. First quarter, Paul Marion had a spin move and banked it in. He wants to get back in the win column. Then our reigning outstanding student athlete, Kyle Mangus, lays it in, ties up the game at 9 at the end of the first quarter. Marindet finds Austin Schmidt for a drive and kick, pull up 2. Warsaw, this also goes to overtime, 32-29. The Tigers edge it out, close out the season with a 21-1 record. That's sensational.
Love to see that intensity because many of these games tonight really don't count for anything now that you see the playoffs, but teams, like I said, want that momentum. That goes for the other state, north of the line as well. Michigan wrapping up the regular season in girls basketball this week. The boys still have another week. And there are some conference champions tonight as well. Now, the Lancers have already wrapped up their league title, but looking to run the table in the Southwest Michigan Athletic Conference this year. And looking good tonight at home against Niles. Taylor Wagner spins and hits the little hook shot, and away we go up in Stevensville. So Niles is trying to hang. They know they're playing the best team in the league. Jasmine Brand drives and scores, but this one was pretty much all Lancers. Cross-court pass to Morgan Kaiser for the 3. Lakeshore wins at 60-35, so they go through the league 10-0.
St. Joe would have had a really good year if they didn't have to play Lakeshore twice during this. Wrapping up the regular season by hosting Portage Central. Second half, the Bears up big. This is good ball movement. Frees up Katie Algier. St. Joe leads 28-14. Then after that, Sadie Brown with a baseline drive dishes to Anna Fisher. St. Joe wins 50-27. They've won 4 in a row now as they roll into the postseason.
And finally, good game tonight up in Marion Springs. The Shamrocks hosting Bridgman, and it was a good start for the home team. Early on, they kick it out to Douglas Clark, who knocks down the 3, and Marion Springs has the lead. But Bridgman would counter off the dribble. Nick Knowlton gets into the lane and scores, and a few minutes later, he's going to do it again. Check out this move, right into the traffic and lays it in. Hey, we got another overtime game, and it's Bridgman that prevails in OT, 85-78. All right, we got to take a quick timeout, but when we come back, Carl, Penn and Argus have made their way to Indianapolis for tomorrow's state final. So we will head down to the state capitol and get a report from the championships when Hoop It Up returns.